Right now, Bitcoin is printing a divergence on the daily chart that surely has the perma-bears squealing like little schoolgirls, excited at the thought of a potential first real dump since the ETFs were launched. But are we really about to see Bitcoin have a dumpy? Or in fact, is this the prelude to a pumpy? Right now, the price of Bitcoin is potentially on the verge of its first real dumpy since the Bitcoin spot ETFs began trading. But what if I told you that something twice as big is actually happening behind the scenes? So if you understand that before you can pump on in, sometimes you have to get dumped on, and in fact, it's honestly not that bad. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, get signed up to Femex below if you want to buy Bitcoin or altcoins. Without any further ado, let's absolutely jump into this reach-a-roo, where we see Bitcoin right now clearly, and it's been actually for a while, it's been for actually multiple weeks printing bearish divergence on the daily chart. However, the thing is, we just keep going up. The price of Bitcoin doesn't seem to want to initiate a dump. And so far today, we have actually pushed down around the 70,000, I believe a little bit below 70,000 US dollars. It is, it's not quite nearly as big as the wick we saw on March 5th, about 9 days ago. But I think it is leading people to kind of question, are we about to actually enter a potential week or so long dump? And this is a giant question. It's incredibly interesting. If we do, it will be the first sustained real big dumpy since these ETF inflows have taken the crypto world and the traditional finance even world by storm. And, one thing I actually want to look at on this 4-hour chart, this is like one of the weirdest structures that I've seen. I mean, if you're looking on this 4-hour chart, what is this? It's like little BART patterns that end up not dumping, but then just keep pumping, right? What is this pattern? Absolutely, it is being caused, in my opinion, 100%. My opinion is that it's absolutely strictly because of the Bitcoin spot ETFs, that maybe they're just, pushing the price down here and then gobbling it all back up. And then, are we about to see a big gobble right here as well? Are we about to see them gobble it up again? I wouldn't put it past them. I think that mainly one of the main goals of BLACKROCK and these spot ETFs is to shake people out of their Bitcoin. And specifically, I've been following multiple people on X, right? And pretty much every day, it is transitioning from people with, I believe it's people with 100 Bitcoin or less, or basically people under 100 Bitcoin. They are mainly the ones selling, and people with larger amounts of Bitcoins are the ones accumulating. And that seems to be the overall theme we've been seeing here. So I think that is interesting. I think that the people that might be a little newer and the people that haven't been around as long are mainly the ones that are panicking on these dips, and mainly the ones selling to BLACKROCK just to be gobbled up, and selling to these ETFs. Now, I want to highlight a few things first. So this time is different, right? Continue to see signs this time is different according to Bitcoin Munger. Behaviorally, this market has changed. Coins were sent to exchanges in the past. However, in this run, coins are leaving exchanges. And you can see right here, if we just zoom in, this red on this chart is what is happening. And this goes all the way back. This is in the end of 2022 right here. You can see on the chart, that's the end of 2022. We go back here. This is the end, basically the very beginning of 2022. But what do you notice? Like, look at all of these exchange balances increasing in green, and we're not seeing any of that here. We're seeing coins leaving exchanges like crazy with like barely any, well, I mean, at least for the past couple of months, like barely any real inflows into these exchanges. And because of the dump we saw today, actually, we saw liquidations occur. Over 3.1 billion shorts can be liquidated, however, around 76.8 or around 77. And we've been seeing this pattern kind of play out where over the past week or two, we've been seeing the market very volatile, right? A lot of moves up and down. So you can see these massive wicks. They liquidate longs and shorts, right? A lot of these wicks are destroying very tight longs and shorts. So it's kind of wrecking both parties if you're kind of just opening crazy leverage trades out of nowhere, like day by day. We're also seeing this wealth advisor platform, Cetera, just approved Bitcoin ETFs to be offered to their clients. Almost $500 billion in assets under administration and about $200 billion in assets under management. So that's interesting news, I think, worth highlighting. We also see the Pi cycle top indicator, according to CryptoGel, accurately predicting all Bitcoin bull market tops. At the moment, though, it's nowhere near printing a top signal anytime soon. So we look at past data, we look at when tops have been marked in the past, and the Pi cycle top indicator is telling us we're not even close. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, absolutely. So this I also thought was interesting. We look at February inflows and then the way March is trending. Basically, what Fred on Twitter, on X, is saying is that together about 270,000 Bitcoin in the last 60 days has equaled about 15 billion. Very likely we get another 100 billion in the next 9 months of this year as we close out 2024. We're only, we're just finishing out the first quarter of the year. And then at a 70 multiple, right? We know the Bank of America multiples are around like 100, but at a 70 multiple, 7 trillion added to the market cap will be added to the market cap because of this. Means an $8.4 trillion market cap for Bitcoin, or a $420,000 Bitcoin end of year is what he's saying. And also there's an outside chance that we could get to 1 million, not likely in my opinion, this year, but honestly, one of the biggest things about what's happening right now is exactly if these ETFs, and this is why I'm very interested in today to see if we can actually get a big breakdown of price, because if we do get a big breakdown of price, it's something me personally I've been waiting for, to see if we can get a big breakdown here, or if the ETFs are just going to gobble everything up and kind of prevent multiple day or multiple week dumps. Will these ETFs prevent multi-week dumps in this bull market? I don't know. Nobody knows because we haven't experienced it yet. So far, it's basically just been going straight up. So I want to see what happens. If it's actually true that these ETFs are so strong that they're just going to keep gobbling and gobbling and gobbling, then, hey, I don't know, any price prediction, in my opinion, becomes, not any price prediction, but at least 400,000 to 700,000 becomes very realistic, I think, if the demand of these ETFs and the power, the strength of these ETFs is actually true. Now, if we actually see a dump in the next few days, a sustained dump, let's say we break below 70, let's say we break below like 60,000 in the next 1 or 2 weeks, and let's say we stay there for a couple of weeks, then I would question that. But we have to understand too, is that we see this divergence being printed. The 21-day moving average has not been visited since February 26th. And for right now, that would be around 63,000 US dollars. So I personally think at the minimum to call this an actual crash, we would need to go down to about 63,000 US dollars. Minimum. If we don't even go to 63,000 US dollars, I don't consider that a dump or crash anything at all. That's like the bare minimum. And I think it would be healthy if we did that. And I absolutely would 100% be very interested what actually happens here. If we have a quick bounce in a day, a wick, if we get any daily closes at the 21-day moving average, or if we even drop down lower, because we've just been floating straight to the upside. In the past, clearly we have massive support. If we actually pull out the VRVP right here, a lot of accumulated volume around 58,000. So if we would actually get pushed lower, I would think Bitcoin would have immense support there, and it would help reset some of this momentum. I'm just, guys, if I'm being honest, I think if the Bitcoin ETFs didn't exist, we would absolutely be going there in the short term. I just don't know. As I've been saying pretty much every day, I want to see if the buying pressure of the ETFs allows us to go that low. I personally don't have like a strong opinion on what I think is. I think personally it'll take at least a couple more weeks, couple more months for us to definitively know the answer if these ETFs are as strong as they potentially are. But if they are as strong as they might be, as the evidence is so far showing they might be, then this fundamentally changes how this bull market is going to happen. And unfortunately for people that are bearish, I think we might be we might be too bearish if these ETFs are really as crazy as they might be, which we have yet to 100% get proven, right? But that's what that's what today and this week might actually be able to answer a question for us. Maybe if we get a breakdown, we could say, hey, maybe these ETFs are not as strong as we think they are. But also keep in mind, the people that are calling for 60,000 next are also the people that were telling you that would not be an all-time high before the halving, that Bitcoin spot ETFs wouldn't get approved, that they would be a dud, and all of those were wrong. All of those things happened. And pretty much ignore the negativity. I don't see much negativity, but I'm also not really, I haven't been on social media as much today. I've been busy with other stuff. I'm assuming people are probably bearish, as they always are every time it drops a couple percent. But also, these new Bitcoin ETFs have overtaken Grayscale for the first time in total assets, so that's big, right? Didn't take long. Grayscale's existed for years, and then these new 9 ETFs are gobbling up things like we've never seen gobbled in the history of gobbling. The cost basis of Bitcoin spot ETFs, excluding GBTC, is now 50,000. Would this represent the new price floor for Bitcoin? This is the realized price of the ETFs, and this is Bitcoin's current price. So if we get a pullback at the very lowest, is at the very lowest Bitcoin could go. We'll see. And also, as I mentioned earlier in the video, you know, it's very weird. Like, basically, Invest Answer is saying, do you spot the pattern? It's been happening for basically the past 2 months when the ETFs are buying. And it really is such a new dynamic that I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around what the true repercussions, what the true effects on pullbacks and pumps will be because of these ETFs. I'm having a hard time trying to come up with an answer. Again, nobody knows, but I'm having a hard time forming a strong opinion because I haven't formed a strong opinion yet, honestly, on whether or not these ETFs are as strong as people think they are. I honestly don't know. So far, again, like I said, the answer would say yes, but I personally, as I've been saying for like the past 2 weeks, like at this point, we should be having a dump, right? We should be having an actual pullback. I'm talking like a 20% or even more pullback. And we haven't gotten them since like the first 2 weeks these ETFs were launched. We are seeing the DXY have a big bounce today, which I think is contributing to also some selling pressure on Bitcoin and the stock market as well. There's some fears that maybe the stock market is topping out. The Magnificent Seven stocks are showing weakness. I believe that Tesla is doing horribly. I think it's like the worst performing tech stock. But then also, what is the other in the Magnificent Seven? I think it's is it Microsoft? There's one other stock that's also really not doing that well in the top 7 of the S&P 500 that are historically, I mean, it's showing a little bit, I think, of weakness in the stock market. I think people are getting a little fearful. And if you look across the board, what is like everything red today? Meta's down 8%, Nvidia's down 3%, Tesla's down about 5%, but Tesla's been getting dumped on a lot. Gold's actually down today as well. A lot of things. MicroStrategy's down, Coinbase is down, SPX is down, NASDAQ is down, Dow Jones is down. Yes, so quite literally, I think everything that I just looked at. Oh, Pepe, the trash coin, is up 7%. So there's Doge and Pepe are up today. So, but they don't trade on any logic whatsoever. It's literally just memers trading coins. Overall, though, if I would have to sum up this video, I kind of want to see Bitcoin dump here. I kind of want to see how much pressure can be put on Bitcoin so we can really see how strong it is. My opinion is that I want to see a real correction. We've been going up straight for weeks and weeks and weeks. I want to see people start getting fearful again. I want to see the bears come out again and start, pounding their chest saying the top is in, top is in. I want to see that sentiment return so that I can get better entries, right? But also because, as soon as that happens and then we find the bottom wherever it is, it'll give us a real idea of how strong the buying pressure and the new dynamic of these ETFs is. So this is something I'm honestly very curious to watch. This is interesting to me, and I think it is to a lot of people as well, because I want to see what happens here. And get signed up to FEMEX below if you want to buy Bitcoin or altcoins. Without any further ado,